Hi everybody, this is Patty Bennett. Are you ready for this really cute fun fold? Look at all these pretty springy colors. I am calling this card a double triangle fun fold. I don't really know if it has a specific name. I learned how to make it earlier this spring when I was doing an online event with Kirsten Del Rosario, and she just called it a fun fold. So I am calling it a double triangle fun fold, and I'll show you why. So here are the cute cards that we're going to look at. These are the pieces. We're going to go over this, but I wanted to show you the paper I'm using. This is called hand penned. It is a Stampin' Up paper. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator. By the way, if I didn't say it, hi, this is Patty Bennett. Did I say that earlier? And I have been a demonstrator for almost 27 years. I am filming this in March 2022. This paper is currently available. This represents the beautiful 12 patterns in the package. It is 12 by 12 paper. It's currently available, although my guess is it will be retiring as this catalog goes out and retires on May 2nd. So if you're watching this before that and you want this paper, this is the number. You can visit me at pattystamps.com and you can use the online ordering buttons there. So let's look at how this cute card kind of goes together. It has a belly band. I have stamped Easter on this one, but we're going to look at others. It has these two triangle flaps. The card opens, I've stamped inside, still gives you room to write. So you have beautiful patterns from this paper. And if you don't have this paper or you want to use a different paper, this works any time of year, any occasion, any paper will work. But I just want to show you how to put this together. Now, all of these sizes will be on pattystamps.com. You can look below this video on YouTube and click the link to get to the blog post. So you'll be able to print off or pin this picture there. But if you also want to take a screenshot, feel free. So let's look at the pieces here before we make one together. The back is right here, 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then this white piece, I've used thick basic white, you could use a color if you prefer, is this one, 4 by 10 inches, scored in half at 5 inches and folded. Then this piece that's on top is this one, 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. This could be a piece of designer paper, a stamped piece, an embossed piece, doesn't really matter what you put there. The triangles are actually squares. So you need 2 of them. Each one is 3 1/2 inches square, and they're scored on the diagonal, which we will do together. So don't panic here. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so you have the folding piece, the 2 triangle flaps, and then the belly band is 1 by 12. And you can see that I've flagged the end here. You can do that by hand with scissors, or we have a punch that does that. So I'll show you that. And just a note, in case I forget to say it as we assemble one of these cards, don't make your belly band too tight because it'll be hard to slip on and off, and your recipient may not even know that it's supposed to come off. So don't make that too tight, and I'll show you a tip for doing that. And then this little embellishment piece here, this really could be anything that you have or that you want to use. I have used a die cut, a 2-inch circle, and then another die cut with the Easter greeting. But those 3 pieces are kind of optional. You could do circles, squares, any die cut shape that you have that you want to use really would work on there. Okay, so let's look at the samples and then we're going to make one together. I just love all these beautiful springy colors. So here you can see that I've sort of highlighted the Highland Heather, made it into a birthday card. Aren't those patterns pretty together? This one is a thanks, so many thanks from all of us, and kind of highlighted the green or the jade in that one. And then I think the rest of these might be Easter because I wanted to send Easter cards out. And we have the pink and green highlighted there. We have the papaya and green highlighted on this one, another one with the green, and then this one has more of the yellow and the Highland Heather highlighted, but they're all just beautiful. Any of these colors are just so pretty. So you've noticed here probably that I use different colors on the back, just all different beautiful spring Stampin' Up! Colors. Any of them will look great. So let's make one together so that I can show you how this goes together, because I'll admit when I saw this card at first, I thought, how in the world does this go together, and how do you make those triangles? And I just didn't even realize that it was going to be 2 squares. It's really so easy. So you need 2 of these. Everything else is 1, but you do need 2 of the squares. They're 3.5-inch square. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 3.5-inch square. And what I like to do to score them is use my Stampin' Trimmer. You could also use a scoreboard. Really doesn't matter. I am doing both at the same time. If you want to do them separately, that works as well. I've got 1 point in the track here, 1 point in the track here. I'm going to close that arm up, and then with my scoring blade, I'm just going to score back and forth a few times. And then a bone folder is really handy to reinforce. So you're just going to fold that on your score mark, and this becomes your 2 triangles. Isn't that fun? That's so easy compared to what I thought was going to happen with this assembly of this card. Let me just point out, this paper, these patterns are very forgiving in that the pattern is just sort of multi-directional. If you were using something that had a pattern with a direction that has to go up and down, so this would have been your square, but then you're turning it on the diagonal, your pattern now is not going to be in the right direction. So just make sure you are using something that is multi-directional or can be turned like this, and it won't matter. So this is how they're going to go. And I like to just put them onto my folded basic white, thick basic white base. I flipped it over, and then I'm holding it, and you can use any adhesive you like. Here's what I would suggest. Use a liquid glue. I'm just doing a little bit sort of where I know that triangle will be. You don't need much. You just need to kind of hold it in place. But until you kind of get the hang of these and you know exactly how all of this goes together, it's helpful to have a liquid glue so that you can flip it over. You can make sure that those went exactly where you want them, and you can kind of wiggle it if you needed to. Then we're going to put this piece on top, and see when I close it up, isn't that pretty how it brings out all of the beautiful pink tones in that? And then this one will be behind, and so you can just see how that all just layers so pretty together. And I'm going to go ahead and do the liquid glue again. You don't have to. You can use whatever you'd like, but I think the liquid glue will be good. I don't know, this really doesn't have a direction, but again, if your paper has a direction, make sure you're getting it in the right direction. Okay, oh, so pretty. Isn't that pretty? And then we're just going to attach it here. Oh, I need to cut this down. I have a drawer full of 1/4 sheet pieces, so they're all 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. But this card, you'll notice if you look back and you see what dimensions I gave you, this one is a 1/4 inch smaller, and so I had pulled it out of my drawer but had not yet trimmed it down. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, and that gives you the perfect mat all the way around. Put that on. Just hold it just a minute here. Just let that sit. Okay, then we're ready for the belly band and the embellishing, and then we're done. This is really so easy once you know how to do this card. So I just left this piece at 12 inches long because that's what the designer paper is. And it's 1 inch wide. And then you can see here that I have flagged the end. You can do that if you just want to use your scissors, or there are lots of different punches that do that, but I used this punch, so you just slip this piece all the way in and then you punch down and it flags that end. So that makes it really easy. Now, here's the tip. I want to show you this. I put the flagged end so that it's almost over to the edge of the card, wrapped it around, wrap this one around, but as I was saying before, a little bit loose. You don't want to cinch that in at all because it'll be way too tight and you'll never get this to slide on and off. So it's a little bit loose. Then I can flip my flagged end over to there, put adhesive on this flap, and then just sort of make sure those line up. Again, a little loose. That's much better than too tight. Okay, so let's just test and make sure. Yep, and that slides nicely. So that's perfect. And I like how this little flagged end here kind of sticks up a little bit. You could glue it down or you could chop it off so that this covers it. Totally up to you. Now, special note, when you're putting this piece down, so let's just look at one of these for an example. When you're decorating this belly band, of course, you're not going to put adhesive everywhere because it'll glue the whole thing shut. So I found if I just put a little adhesive right onto the belly band, then that's safer. And I can just put this die cut down. And then I have my 2-inch circle. I'm going to add that. And then I have my greeting, thanks so much. And just put that across. And that's all there is to that card. Really super easy, isn't it? Let's look at some of those beautiful colors. So pretty. So pretty. Look at all of those. They're so gorgeous. I just love the springy, beautiful palette here. Aren't they pretty? I'll show you just in case you're wondering. So I did use Birthday and Thanks from Sweet as a Peach. I used a Thanks from Flowers of Friendship. And the Easter greeting is in Timeless Tulips. Happy Easter, happy spring, happy, happy everything. So those were the sets I used for those greetings. I thought that they just fit well, and I kept them all fairly simple. So I hope you enjoyed the double triangle fun fold card. I hope you'll visit me at pattystamps.com, and I hope you'll have fun making these. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.